Hello Blender folks, welcome back. This is Gnomes. Today we're gonna address some workflow with the incredible free extension, which is the Bone Manager. There's a lot of content about this, well maybe not a lot, but it's a good thing. It's an extension install. I've been using it for a long time already, so it's very recommendable. And the add-on here, right, to get extension. So it's an extension, it's an add-on. And however, in Blender, because I keep updating my it's my will to be using the latest features of Blender, at least on a supposed stable release. So now I'm using Blender 4.5.2 LTS, and I think since Blender 4.5 LTS, something's has broken in the Bone Manager. Probably I'll have to report it, but of course I had imported a previous armature, so of course of the previous project. So this breaks a lot of things. So this is very unrecommendable. But the good thing here is that I tracked down some of the issues. So basically it lags when we click. Here I'm making a new armature from scratch. I'm gonna reproduce my entire rig. It's not that hard actually. It's not a super. Rigify is a more complicated rig than mine. Mine has much lesser bones, but it still can be kind of tricky. So I'm gonna remake the rig from scratch with this new armature here, which already has the right name. And then you see that here everything is solid, works smoothly. But if I go on the other armature, something terribly lags, and with certain features of which are essentially the features which lags, not the ones. The bone collections, when you start to change the bone collection, this one unfortunately is very important for making the rig UI panel. I've learned recently thanks to a CGDI dive tutorial, lacking content on making the rig UI for Bone Manager, but now CGDI has sort of covered it. So that is good. Then also this one lags, also related to color assignments. This one also lags. I don't even know how this is. For me, this is, I don't use too much, but it occupies spaces. So it selects all the bones, right? Actually, it's a bone select all operator, right, for the skeleton. This one, very important, solo. Then this one, yeah, maybe it's important too, alongside with solo. So they're combined well. And these ones, I usually don't use it because accidentally you can swap bones position by just a wrong misclick. But it's very important on certain workflows. But it is a bit risky to have it on. And this is for the bone colors, the collection, bone collections color. This one lags. So this lags, this lags, this lags, this lags, and this lags a little. I never use. This is when we are making the rig UI, and this one doesn't seem to lag. So this is also for the rig UI. So just for now, I'm gonna use this for organization. But if we start lagging, we'll in the new armature object, we'll see already if I right click here. So I'm gonna not make the test because it takes like 10 to 20 seconds of lag. So it's very frozen Blender. So it's very frustrating. And so we'll see if it starts when it starts to occur. Maybe it will never occur. So maybe it's something about the bone data that I couldn't find out. So we're gonna rebuild. Also, this native UI prevents the lag, except perhaps for this bone arrow, this down arrow menu also lags, and it depends on what is enabled. So because this armature is not lagging, nothing here lags, so native UI is a lifesaver. Okay. So anyways, let's start building and then showing how my workflow with my current workflow with the Bone Manager, because we can do a lot of things here. There's a lot of great stuff. And I just don't know about half of it, but the more basic stuff I know. And now I'm trying to learn. I want to learn the rig UI, which is It's not that I haven't, it just didn't stabilize. Yeah, I need to sediment the knowledge, right, to make okay. So let's, and hope that we won't find the lag anymore. Then this will be, but I still report. Anyways, let's get the this thing. So this is the new armature, and this is a root bone, so we're gonna call it root like that. We're gonna alt M this bone to master, so now it's only here, while this collection doesn't have it, right? So you use the solo to just check. Okay, and this large circle open means there's absolutely no bone here, and these are, so if I pick the bone here and I click here, that immediately I move the bone to the other collection. This can be risky. So all right, let's now create the custom. The cool thing is that if you select two armatures, like I did here, okay, I just have this. I cannot click in this, but yeah, this won't lag. This won't lag, but anything I click here will be a drama. So yeah, here too, because this will cover both. So I need to be very careful here. So I'm gonna, because I need to, it's good to be seeing. At some point this will be start to get very confusing, so I'll have to, because of the, these are the bones that I have to transfer. So I don't have a lot of bone layers, folks, so we're gonna start with, so I'm not gonna also duplicate, so let's click on this one, right? By the way, this is a pinned here, right mouse button click, we can pin this bone collection, the panel, right, of the bone manager tab, and so you can have any other tab here, right? It will still be pinned, you can place it at the top. Yeah, I keep the transform pin because not so much of the transforms of the pose mode, but the transform of edit mode, because there are bone length value, there's very important things here, bone roll also to check, and sometimes symmetrizing on the x-axis, we want to zero this out. Yeah, so anyways, okay, let's go back here. So right now we just gonna, oh, for some reason I can't reduce this. Yeah, apparently we can't reduce this for some reason. Okay, anyways, we're gonna start this selection, and from this armature object we're gonna start rebuilding the skeleton. So the base skeleton is very simple, right? So we're gonna, actually we can reuse some positions here. Yeah, we're gonna reuse the positions of some bones here, but we need to be on this, so we're gonna select here, Shift A, let's add a bone. Okay, I need to solo this, we can unhide this. Okay, now I'm gonna edit this thing, so this, yeah, this will be a B-bone scale, so proportional scaling here on the B-bone size, and now you can distort it. So no, nothing like that. So we're gonna try to snap this to vertex. I'm editing both armatures, so it should snap. Yes, it can snap indeed, so that's good. Okay, let's also change this. I wanted to make a color shortcut for this, but it didn't seem to have worked. Let's see. Assign shortcut, right? So let's see what we could create here. Okay, let's try quick favorites. Ah, there's no quick favorites here. Okay, so then let's say another for this. I have a shortcut here, some shortcuts for this, but we're gonna use, it was Shift Alt B. So here we're gonna do Shift Alt C because color. Oh no, Shift Alt C are used for something else. Okay, so then Shift Alt R maybe. Yeah, let's. Aha! Never used this. Oh, but it doesn't seem to work. Maybe it need to be on... Okay, so it... I was on pause mode, right? Let's okay, so there's a glitch here. This shortcut doesn't work on edit mode for some reason. So, but it works, but it just works on pause mode. So the shortcut is the same, but it doesn't respawn, right? Okay, we'll have to do on pause mode, so it's not very good actually. Okay, so this will be called the control hips, or yeah, I'm restructuring the skeleton, but I'll address this later. Where the question is where to have the main question is where to have the spine. I need to... Let's make a collection just for hiding that other armature, right? So the name of this bone is yeah, there are two bones here. So one is control hip sways, the minor, and the larger is the... it's spine connector. Okay. Maybe I'm not gonna use the same strategy here. Why they changed orders? Right, because okay, because the active goes to the top. Okay, good. So hold on, let's just make some space here. This, yes. Here. Alright, so now we're gonna hide this. So we're gonna snap. Yeah, we need some... I'll ignore the spine locker here, lock fixer, because we're gonna make some change to this spine. So this will be different. Oops, wrong one. So we're gonna, yeah, let's extrude here, and then we fix. Let's see if we reset roll here. Okay, just in case. Then we're gonna go back here. Let's already extrude some stuff here, and then we just for this particular workflow, this will be better, easier. I have an extra bone here. Okay, no needed. What is this? Why this has a... Okay, never mind. Okay, this is the head, so we're gonna... Okay, we're gonna reset the roles of all this at the same time. Z-axis pointing forward, right? They are not B-bones but they will become. So this, how the control hips, let's see. Yes. How I'll pivot the... Yeah, so this is a very challenging rigging problem, especially with the kind of interaction that I want to do with the... But I'll not be spending time with this. This is not the topic here. This I can solve later. So let's just add some... Also, where the... Couldn't this bone be a bendy bone, actually? At this point, it might be a bendy bone, indeed. The hips being a bendy bone. Yes, it's mesh. I'm gonna make some change here also. We're gonna make this yeah, I'm gonna make this different, this joint. So maybe I can do the connection. I can do something else later. Okay. So I'm gonna make everything here as except the head. We're gonna turn these into bendy bones. Holding Alt. So apparently the neck, I think it's 5. So 5 here. This one has yeah, it's 5. 5 here is 5 and 5. And here for this one we don't have. Gonna be 5 as well. These are not deformed bones, so we don't need it to be curved, but since they can be duplicated if they were deformed bones, yeah, so this is just a skinning method. They don't need the handles, they are connected parented, so no need of that. Now the head, yeah, the head bone is there. We're gonna rename those things, so this will be control head, control neck, control chest. We could consider upper, lower chest, I don't know. But control spine, chest, right? Spine. And here control hips. Yeah, this is fine. Then we gonna, this is all that we need for now. So if we, for this part, the spine here, if I pick this with Auto A key option, I can already have some good yeah, so here the bending will not necessarily correspond to the deforms, right? The bending of the bendy bone, but probably here we could consider some improvements on these splines, right? I've been trying to address this somehow lately. I'm not sure exactly what is wrong here, or not wrong, but what we could do to improve this. Maybe we could have 2 bones for the neck. I'm not sure. Okay, this bending seems a little better, even though it's not very realistic regarding the thoracic cage, but maybe regarding the spine it is. Right, so we are okay making some change here. Oops, this doesn't look like very close to the costume is interfering here. Maybe we can make the hips, yeah, maybe it's very strange because yeah, the hips a blocky thing, but for the deforms the spine also doesn't go in the rig. The rig is not anatomically accurate. And then there's strategy of using the back of the neck here a little up where there's the bending of the joint of the neck head, right? So this also for deform. Okay, so this seems to be, I'll be investigating along this. So what I want here is that I can expand the hip. You see, so I can expand the bending of the spine towards the hip bone. So I can have this massive control on the spine because there is this sacral spine vertebra, right? And they are connected to the hip somehow. And this represents not exactly the hips, but the deforming of the sacral spine, although sacral vertebra, something like that, where there is the coccyx, right, and the tail of characters, humanoid if they had tails. So the thing here is that we'll have to have this kind of control skeleton here but at the same time, I want to be able to control the hips through another system. And so I'm starting to think now, but that will pivot from here. There could be bad interactions between auto I key from the bottom and from the top. Here I was doing from the top, right? So maybe what we can do here, if I shift this bone here, we're gonna flip this. This one won't be a bendy bone, so we're gonna destroy its bendy boneness. And so this bone pivots, so it goes downward. So I was thinking something like here, but now this makes more sense because how they will connect is not good because they don't actually connect. So they cannot connect from their tails, from their heads, because, oh, they can. Hold on. Ah, they can. Okay, so we can have a connector bone. It will be exactly here, so let's do some trick here. I wasn't doing exact... Okay, clear parent, let's call it control connector. This is not a control, right? It's more a sort of a mechanism. So we're gonna call... I'm gonna change it to stick, and we're gonna flip. And so we're gonna... We need to get it to... that joint there. There's some way to do this. Is okay, here we go. Yeah, it seems to be fine. So this will be like but the mechanism is like bad, right? It's more like a... Let's do this. It's like a special bone. I'm gonna also change it. Oops. Okay, apparently this shortcut has broken. Okay, never. So we can't use this. Whatever. I'm gonna use this other color here. All right. Then what we do is that we pick these two, and we're gonna connect parent. Oh no, this. Oh no, no, no! My mistake, folks. Here, the head of this bone is here, and the head of this bone is here. Of course, they are meant to control the same mesh on their own terms, right? They both will sort of affect the same. So this could be weird, but that could be a good stretch. So this is why they need to be flipped. Otherwise, yeah, we could do different. Yeah, we could. We could make it here, but then the bone would be displaced, you see. And because this needs a connection, it will sort of ruin whichever comes lower. Well, maybe not. So there would be a secondary approach. Yeah, we could try something like... let's use the align here. So here we call hip sway. And this one, we're gonna... Just to remember that this strategy exists, we can make this into the real hip sway. So for now, we're just gonna make it like irrelevant. So that means that, okay, so I cannot make this... we can try here, actually. Yeah, this bone also is pointing downward, right? Well, to make it clear here. Yeah, this is better. Also, it's not a bendy bone, so that's good. Then what we do here is that we're gonna actually... Yeah, this means that this bone will be ignored. Hold on. Yeah, I'm sort of ignoring this bone, folks. Clear parent. We're gonna parent this and yeah, everything to here. Connect. No. Okay, I know what's happening. It's because this bone cannot use automatic here. As it needs to do absolute. So there's no target here, doesn't matter. Or maybe in this case tangent. We're not sure. Because otherwise it will try to go in a crazy direction here. Okay, so here we have this bone connector, which is not absolutely necessary, to be fair, but it's not meant to. It will spread the inverse kinematics auto I key to F key for the rest of the spine if it is connected. There are other ways to do the trick, but okay, now we're gonna start build. So the trick would be that I will still be able with this bizarre bone here to control the mesh from here, like secondary. Because there might be other ways. Okay, so let's yeah, because it depends on how I connect parent. Yeah. So anyways, let's continue here, folks. Okay, we need this control hip left and right. I need this joint there. Okay, so it's gonna start to extrude from this on its tail, right? Then we Shift A, so we got this bone here, then we're gonna rotate, we're gonna snap it there. Now we're gonna extrude this. Gonna make multiple extrusions already. Okay, we can hide this. Now we're gonna, this one will be global z-axis. This will reset here, so it goes straight back in principle. Then we can, those are matching. Then we get the bone colors here. This one could be I don't need to place it this color, though it could help just for visualization. Actually, we can turn them into wire. And of course, we need to what's the name? Yeah, we need to rename them, but we need to also, so this one we're gonna connect here. Yeah, I remember what you need. We need to give them left and right, so set names, auto name left. Okay, so this is control hip left, because we can do this. It's maybe anatomically incorrect, like the hip is a block, but it doesn't, but for the deforms it can, and posing it can be good. For animation, right, even 3D animation, control pin left, there we go. So then we can, yeah, we can absolutely symmetrize already this. And so from here, what we got is that we can have this behavior, right? So the normal I key, auto I key, right? With the hip, with the, okay, this is this. So this is the hip. This is the hip sway that should, if I made it started from this bone, yeah, but then the problem of that is that yeah, it will be easier to catch the deformed bone there, secondary motion. But what I'm doing, but then I wouldn't be able to do the straight connection here. So if this bone doesn't do this thing, then we don't have the possibility to immediately extend the auto IQ option. Even at offset parenting, that won't do nothing. Of course, if we pick this bone and maybe this bone, then no. Yes, there is some way to do it, but I haven't explored too much, and I believe, yeah, it moves too much, right? We need to pick a fixed bone, as I tried experimentally. So we'd extend the chain, something like that, right? But I'd never tried with this rig, so let's, yeah, not the moment for that. So this is why what we need to do is leave this connected. And so now the thing is connected for the purpose of auto IQ option. And we can do this at the same time that we pin the head, or do this at the same time that we pin the feet. So this is very interesting behavior, right? So right now we don't have a IQ bone constraint or no other setup to do this kind of pinning. So we not gonna. So let's go for the here, the arms. So we're gonna, yeah, there'll be some. So we're gonna extrude from here. Yeah, this is on top, so this is the right one. Here we're gonna try to respect. You see the spine here is distorting, so this is very specific to the bendy bones. We need here, indeed, it's just an exception. We're just gonna do this. So now it aligns with the, because we have a connection here, so it doesn't know which, by default it goes to the left. So it's kind of to the left side, right? It's crazy. Shift N, we're gonna do this. Now we're gonna keep extruding this. I don't like this extrusion, just this one. After we can find the ideal sizing for these bones, right? It doesn't really matter. This will become anyways wire. Hold Alt. Let's align all this to the top. Global, but then rotate 90. I like the, like Rigify Z-axis, the bending, the main bending direction of the limb, right? So the Z-axis of the legs, it's backwards. Here there's no main axis that I can decide, so just up and up. Oh, no, this is wrong. Okay, let's do it again. So this one, up. And the spine, well, the spine is, the head is Z forward, right? So there's no control fit here with this control rig. It could have, but it doesn't need to. It doesn't respond. It doesn't function that way in my rig, but there could be some way to do this kind of like a control hand, like a continuation. Actually, for the feet, because my foot are not are sort of ignored in details, like not the decay of the hand. I'm going to change this, anyways, to improve toes rigging. I've learned something. There's some guy, Philo Vivero, is a rigger that a blender rigger. He does a lot of helper bones setups, right? He have some courses, and his channel is like it's from him that I've got a lot of inspiration for deform helper deform setups, right? But this guy, I just mentioned him. Oh yeah, I've seen in one of his latest videos, he was making a foot with toes. I never knew the anatomy of the toes. It's very bizarre. Like just like the hand, you have the metatarsals for the feet, but the metatarsals, they yeah, they are 5 straight. Of course, because the foot doesn't have the thumb like going sideways. And then we also, the pinky of the foot toe and the thumb of the foot toe, the big toe, they just have 2 phalanxes. I think they are still phalanx called. While all the 3 finger toes, let's say in the middle, they have 3 phalanx. 2, 3, 3, 3, 2. Okay, the 2 for the thumb, but for the pinky, 2. It's super bizarre. I never knew they existed. There were 3 phalanx on those. I haven't super checked, but I trust that this is. I've checked on my own foot to see if this was real. And yeah, this is crazy. Alright, so let's get, yeah, so what I'm doing here, because there are some control skeleton here, but they are not part of this one, right? So I'm not copying the bones because this could this could cause the, you see, this is not lagging here, so this is perfect so far. But if I maybe this bone data, these bones are corrupt, so I don't want to copy anything. So and there's also a way to find out if there is or not a critical problem in the, maybe at some point, I suspect maybe we skip adding some bones, bone constraints, some stuff, and then start to break the bone manager. So it's important for me to find this out. So okay, so I need to get this joint here, go back here. So we're gonna add, yeah, the problem is that this is the, yeah, I need to go here. Oh, it's here. Okay, it has this bone. Okay, so you got this joint. We're gonna add a bone from here. And we're gonna pick this. We're gonna call it control metacarpal. It's middle, yeah, middle finger left. I think that's middle metacarpal. Yeah, there's no reason to have these different. Oh no, it's for organization. Yeah, so this is more correct actually. Yeah, middle metacarpal. Hold on. It's more for the deformed bones, because then the middle comes first, then the metacarpal, then you have everything that is middle, right? So instant ordering. So here we can have any bone size. Actually, they have anyways. This will contain, yeah, the positioning is not correct. I was probably changing the mesh of the hand. Yeah, I'm not gonna address this now. Then we can duplicate those things already after I fix the roll. So this will be, we're gonna call it ring metacarpal, because, and this index and this thumb, also there's a metacarpal here for the thumb. So here we're gonna find out those joints. Can I align it with, yeah, I think this won't cause any corruption. Yeah. Okay, then we get the thumb. Phalanx. Left, right, so just this. And there. So align this with this. And then this with this, yeah. So maybe this we could have different color for the metacarpals. Same for the shoulder. Yes, you can have different color for the metacarpals. And then this be smaller. Okay. And we see there's some problem with the, yeah, the hand. We need to reposition this skeleton later on. Okay, then we're gonna extrude here. Ctrl F2B for bones. Find replace. Yeah, so we're gonna metacarpal, change to phalanx, and strip characters. There we go. And then we're gonna pick this, extrude, and extrude just this. This is an alien character. But at least this still humanoid. And okay, what's happening here? Oh, because we forgot to make this simpler to visualize. We're gonna turn all this into some very specific stick. Yeah, so you can see them very well just for now. I hate the stick, but this thing, but we can it can be useful right now. This I think I already fixed. Yeah. So just holding control, right? And now we just can align this so the Z pointing down, this is arbitrary. So first, to have this, I had to make the bone look up, right, and normal, right, shift and global plus X, just like the shoulder, and I do for the hand bone if we have. Then, yeah, and then we rotate it, no, actually, just make it go down, yeah. What I'm saying, just get the global Z. So I'm just aligning here because they already got their alignments, but we can readdress this later. Okay, so here we need to fix these two. This one's also pointing down. I'm just memorizing what I'm doing. I'm not looking at the axes right now, but yeah, it seems to have been solved. And then, of course, if we want, we can make some small tilting of this. Okay, the thumb also. So yeah, inwards. I think it's already fixed, saved. Okay. So there is phalanx. I don't like this. Although it's something wrong with the... No, nothing wrong with the name. There's just go from nothing to 002.002. Okay. So now we can already change this. And change all this to B-bone. Here we're gonna have to do this manually because I want the same B-bone sizes here. So let's see, I want this size. It's just copy all to selected. We don't have, so copy to selected and copy to selected. Now it is correct. They are symmetric here. And now we're gonna, they are all connected parenting, so we have this proposition here. Oh, Lex seems to missing the metacarpal. Okay, all good here. We're gonna symmetrize this part of the control skeleton. I think we forgot something. Control shoulder left. Yeah, control upper arm. Control forearm. Yeah, I do this way. These are all correct, so just these ones we're gonna auto rename right here, and then we can pick everything here again and again, and here too. Yeah, symmetrize. There we go. And now we have the functionalities going on. Okay, so interestingly, what we see here is that there would be some spine. Yeah, we can indeed, we should be able to make some, yeah, radical. Yeah, you see, this is very good. And this will, the forms will follow, right? So, and then on top of that, if we want, we can still control hip sway from this, the lower part. So this is the upper part, and this is the lower part. And so the point is that the deformed bone here of this lower spine will be of the hips. Actually, it will respond. This is a bit bizarre, but I found no other ways to do this, because I cannot bone constrain these bones. This would break the auto key stuff. There might be an advanced setup for this, but I don't know yet. I'll have to make the research. Anyway, so here is, we have started to get some developments, and then here we can already start with making the master bones, yeah, because they are very important here. We'll have to probably have some ideas here. What are those very wrong locations for this? Location of bone collections for these helpers. Let's take them out of here. Let's move them to helper, whatever. Okay, so we'll need some different positions for this stuff here. All right, so I've made this change. So where do, yeah, this torso, I think that this time I'll make the torso exactly here. Actually, yeah, exactly here. So we're gonna add a bone here. Reset. So this will be master torso. We're gonna, yeah, it goes to the masters. How long it is, it doesn't really matter, but we could make something more regular here, like yeah, 0.1, that's fine. And then we're gonna make Shift D, we're gonna make the mass COG, right? So could be here. And so COG, yeah, master COG, I don't know. Center of gravity. So we're gonna change there, have some, yeah, we're gonna use these custom shapes, right? So copy to selected. I don't see where it has gone. Oh yeah, it's something about the scale here. I probably need to remake this. Yeah, usually this is on. Okay, hold on. I was changing the original. Okay, let's just do the same thing here. Copy all to selected, copy all to selected, copy to selected, copy all to selected. There we go. Copy to selected and copy to selected. Yeah, we can also maybe change this. Why it goes down? From, oh, because this is this bone, right? No, it's this one. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, so just leave it here. on this dense distance. That should be fine. Let's give this a more regular value. Keep things simple, okay? Select boats. All right, so now we need to get this one. We're gonna, yeah, it's a bit confusing, the clicks and, okay, we can check it here. Okay, master torso. I don't know what this is values for, but we're gonna ignore it for now. So this is this selected bone, the old armature, master torso. Gonna just copy this already. According to the skeleton, where would it be? Yeah, just like on that joint, when the splits. Wait. What I'm doing? This is just for the. I just want the. I'm just looking for the custom shape, right? Yeah, just the custom shape and the color. Yeah, so there will be better ways to batch this. Okay, then we get here. Okay, so same thing. We need the new armature. 1.5, 2, and all that. That's all fine. Yeah. So maybe 1. No. 1.4. No, 1.3. Yeah, this is okay. So now we got these masters. Now what you need to do is to make the correct parenting. Change this color here. On edit mode, they look a bit like the same. So I'm gonna just change this. So at least we can know. So I'm gonna parent, of course, this to the center of gravity. And I'm gonna parent this to actually parent this one offset to the master torso. Yeah. Now I need the other bones. Let's check. No lagging here. It's perfect so far. Oh yeah, also this to the root bone. Keep offset. And I have an extra bone that we're gonna make it here. It's for my character design approach with the model sheet. So we're gonna bring here this. I have a root and I have a special root. And we're gonna. This I need the full reference. So I'm gonna go here. We're gonna duplicate this bone. Scale here. We're gonna snap it there. We're gonna change this to not to prop, but we're gonna change it to grease pencil root. Yeah, pencil basement. Floor, yeah. This is a spatial reference, and that took me a while to figure it out. But so we parent this actually to the, it's subordinated to the master root, and it is just a bone which references space. Yeah, so we're gonna, even for both of them, we're gonna lock, Shift W lock. We're gonna lock them in yeah, it is there, right? So we cannot I can select it, right? Yeah, it is there, just that it's confusing. So it's locked, so I cannot accidentally move them, and that's great. So they the armature center is there, but the origin, but so this is good for animation, right? The character is on the floor. However, if I want to reassign the character design, I have to just adjust the to position the armature. Yeah, I need to change the, yeah, I got the idea. So I need to pose the, maybe I can temporarily change the origin. Anyway, just pose this bone here exactly there in somehow, and then we can edit the model sheet again, because the way this is done, yeah, we don't see the model sheet here, right? Okay, the way this is done is that the character is floating, because I've calculated from the heads counting, and it starts from the top. And of course, I'm not sure exactly how many heads the character has, but exactly how, if a new character, or even if an old, if I, so here I need to make space for more heads, and this is why the floor doesn't connect with the feet. So then I can have these correct proportions here, because I cannot right, the character design doesn't have an exact number of heads. That would be a natural number, right? So this is how it needs to be done, how I do, right, in order to maintain this thing. But then it's it's annoying to return this to the original space. But finally I found a solution for that, so that I can still rig, so I can ignore then this and I can yeah, if I need to go back to the, then I use this bone, right, or retakes, and this doesn't affect the anything else. Okay, let's continue here. Why is the soundtrack has finished? Hold on. Okay, this crap pubs ads, right? Let's go back. Okay, so now we need to continue here. So this was just the base skeleton, but we want the deformed skeleton, we want the mechanism skeleton, and that's all. There are but there are still more important master bones here. Although for functionality, where's the other rig? Okay, it's there. Okay, and then there's a switch custom property bones. We're gonna call it, it's called switcher because yeah, so what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna use this position here, and I don't know why I'm gonna make a, it's just a temporary stupid bone. Not temporary, actually, it's just let's give it just something like that. So this will be, I don't know what's this type, crazy type. I'm gonna use envelope just to make it different, very different. So it's a prop bone. It's all the properties go here, so we don't care. So um We're gonna use a mechanism. I don't know which color here we could use. I think this is okay. Maybe this one. Black is also good. Okay. More structural stuff, right? So, we're gonna move it to, I wouldn't like to have it the master skeleton, but for now this will simplify our setup. Okay, and now we go back here. Let's see, this is correct. Also, let's parent this property to the root. And that seems correct. Okay, we're gonna make a new collection here. We could add the mechanism skeleton, because this is for the, I'm starting to make this in my rigs because of the automation of the helper rig. So otherwise it is useless for me. But since we, yeah, so now I can easily swap here. We're gonna bring up the, yeah, so where do I need this automation? In principle, it's just on the, maybe not even in the spine bone. Yeah, it could be good to have on the spine bone, right? Okay, let's get the mechanism everywhere, right? Yeah, this bone I leave it there, but I'm not sure I'm gonna use it. And here, no need. So I'm gonna, probably we don't need a mechanism for, or maybe we need the mechanisms for automation. Yeah, maybe we need. So we're gonna Shift D. We're gonna Alt M this to mechanism skeleton. We're gonna B-bone scale all this down a little. Then we're gonna change all this to B-bone, and we're gonna, yeah, we're gonna take off the B-bone properties. I think this is not gonna be important. And now we need to change these colors also. So I'm gonna use this one, okay. And we can symmetrize everything here. The parenting now, if I'm not wrong, I'm gonna change the parenting system. So this, there are different ways to do this. Let's assess the other armature object. Okay, so this is the, okay, this is getting super confusing. Hold on. So this is the mechanism. No, this is a pole target. Okay. Yeah, okay, the blue is the control skeleton. Then we have the mechanism. The mechanism is parented to, where is parented to? Parent to tweak shoulder. Ah, all right, all right, all right. We have the tweakers, okay. I was about to make a mistake. So this control shoulder, because we don't have a tweak here, but so I've jumped one setup, right? Tweak elbow. All right. You see I don't have some stuff here. Control hip. I'd like it to have a, yeah, we could have a tweak hip. It would be an easy way to fix that, but I want to have that feature directly in the control rig, the blue one. So, all right, then this is control hip. This is tweak hip. This is tweak knee, and that's it. Okay, so it's a bit tricky, but we can get it. So it's just very simple here because it's just a, oops, we got a crash. All right, trying to reopen. It's taking a little while. Strangely, I've been opening. Okay, it's ready, but it's still okay here. No, it's still trying to. This is a typical. I was experienced this today with this file for some reason. Usually it's very. Maybe it's this lagging here. Oh yeah, I've enabled an option accidentally. This square there. As very how this happen? Okay, so this is the glitch, the lag that I was mentioning. So it's, you see how terrible this is. It is processing, but it will be the end of rigging. I need to swap here and maybe hide this armature. I can reopen another file and it, because, okay, now I need to get here. You see here, no lag. So apparently I've made a mistake here with this options. Okay, here, there we go. Now we can, now is no lag. Okay, so let's continue here. Saving. So now we got this mechanism skeleton. We're gonna make the, we need the tweakers, right? So the tweakers, they are located strategically, of course. There are master, some sort of, this one could be considered a master shoulder. So you have on the joints, right? So for that, we need this multi-selection. Let's look for the tweakers. Here, this all right, so we have here this position, so nothing special here, except for their orientations, right? I'm still not decided about their orientations, to be fair, but this matters little because they are not gonna be used for bendy bone splines. They could, but it's not advisable because then we can, they are not free. All right, so it's just like this. Let's get into here. We're gonna find this joint. And I think we don't need this. So I need this for the parenting, right? So I'm gonna call this one quick shoulder. I'm gonna already assign some color for it. I've changed this teal color to something more colorful. Then here we go here, and then this for the hand. So the hand, no, here. So this can be bigger. This one can be a little bigger, and this one is less important. So it's maybe this one's the biggest. Okay, tweak shoulder, tweak elbow, and tweak hand. They are not F key, but they are F key equivalent. With the right tricks, these become F key tweakers. Yeah, because the tweaker bones, they don't operate like... They operate in F key in most cases. We can make it, they operate in I key with auto I key option, for example. But I have made some experiments and it doesn't help in the... for anything that I would find for my rig. Actually, it won't do the... unfortunately. So select all by color. Then we're gonna there's the names. Then we're gonna add them to a new bone collection. Alt M here. So tweak joints, yeah, whatever. There's a slight delay on after right click, but not really damageful. But it could be the beginning, right, of this lagging setup. I don't know why they lost their colors, but we're gonna bring them back. Okay, and then we symmetrize. Okay, now we need to set this parent. So probably this parent, I think, is here. So they are parent to the previous. So it's not absolutely necessary, but yeah. Oh, this one is different. The joints are very different. The joints is always the problem because of the I key bone constraint. It's very complicated. So let's reassess. So same here, we need a foot bone to fix this. Also, let's make this one. It's not symmetrizing. Okay. Let's make sure they reset there and adapt. Okay. This goes first. All right. Now, if we move the... Okay, also for their orientations, let's reset all. Let's make default for now. Oh yes, let's resymmetrize maybe the parenting relations. They were broken. Yes, now we have... It's normal that they don't move the feet. But here we could tweak the... Yeah. So to make F key, if we absolutely need, we can do this pivotal. Yeah, so this is very simple, and this works. um, it's not instantaneous, but it's very fast, and I think the odds are that this is much better than actually having to keyframe I-key, F-key switchers that is in the timeline. This is like for me, this every property that I've, because the idea of the I-key, F-key, it's something that you need so much all the time that if you have to be adjusting this, I don't know how can I would go crazy, I think. Yeah, I probably can adapt, but I can even figure it out. I haven't even tried to be said how that works. It is when I try to look at this property switching, I've made a few. It's very, very annoying to keyframe those things. So imagine you have to keyframe this all the time. No, 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 no. This is there is why there exist alternatives. So we can treat this as an F key rig, but it's not. Yeah, it serves as an F key rig. It will offset, but it is under the, yeah, it follows the idea is that it follows the control I-key skeleton. So the control I-key skeleton alongside with the master I-key with bound constraints, like for the limb, for the arms and legs and even head, but the head is a switch because that creates some conflict. Anyway, so then we can okay, so then they can be carried away, but we can offset them on demand and then just reset them to their original position. So it's very simple. Just need to use the 3D cursor, and this, so it is very fast actually. It's just not instantaneous, and you can pick both if you want. We can do some manner of this already just with the I-key setup. We can do, yeah, I know how. Yeah, we can do some F-key ballistic rotation with the but I need to make these bones first. Okay, so now that we have the F-key tweaks, it's time to connect this to them, right? So this is parented here. This is parented here, and that's it. Here we seems like that this is just parented to the okay, it's parented to the mechanism, of course. So yeah, so we're gonna do is pick all this and already find replace control to mechanism, all right, and also strip characters. I'm not sure that I'm gonna use the mechanism, but at least they are there, right? This could be left offset parenting, right? By the way, so they are freer. They don't need the connected parentings. No, actually, disconnect parenting, but here we're gonna, so this parent here and this parent here. Now this is also parent on the other side, and then we need to do a stretch to, yes, a stretch to bound constraint. I believe it's here, but we're gonna, and then we're gonna re-symmetrize. Okay, so now this controls the, so this is a technique that I've seen from, not exactly this, I've changed it, but this is a technique that I've seen from, okay, I need to, Pierrick Pico, the guy, yeah. So he was trying to dismantle make find a no workaround to I key F key switching, right? And he wasn't total. Yeah, he found this way, but I don't know how if he completed. This is a bit long ago, right? So okay, of course you don't pose this bound, right? This is stretch 2 effect. Okay, and there will be a copy location or copy transformed, but we don't need because the parenting is doing this. And you know, the parenting ignores the roles, so it doesn't care about the roles. We can make a fake parenting bound constraint that will be equivalent, but the parenting is like a simpler, much simpler. So you can just parent to the tweaker, the mechanism, then the mechanism becomes the then we don't need to stretch the bound constraint to the deformed bone because it will just follow what this, although being a bendy bone, so it can be yeah. So we're gonna start to build now the deformed skeleton. And the deformed skeleton in this case is just a duplicate of why these bones are, oh no, these are showing because they are what are these? Okay, this, okay, never mind. So let's go back to this. So we're gonna get here, we're gonna shift D, control B, bones. Yes, we're gonna, we'll have to do this again. So find replace. So instead of mechanism def, we're gonna bring this to strip characters now, and we're gonna make them thinner, and we're gonna get them with I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, I also forgot to move them to deform. There they are. So let's check assess the axis. Yeah, it's all like that. And but they have bone constraint. We're gonna, like for example this one, we're gonna shift alt control alt C everything. Okay, now I'm gonna take some freedom to change this b-bone scales. We're gonna change some colors here. Yeah, so these ones we're gonna bring this other color just to have some variation and clarity. They are parented to Twikini. Yeah, the parents are incorrect. So what we're gonna do here now, they are just parented to the, yeah, they just need to be parented to the mechanism. Nothing. So the mechanism is oriented upwards. So this could be a little tricky, right? Complication. But we're gonna address that later. So Yeah, it will need to deform because of this one true bond constraint, an additive. So this is not, we can do this actually from the this bone. So it needs to do, oh yes, I'm not sure exactly how it will be able to do this. Right now, it needs to pivot from here, but also from the tail. We're gonna see how to address that. There is a way, yes. I pretty much think there is a way. If there isn't a way, we'll find a way. I think I already handled this once. Okay, so here what we need to do is to, this is a secondary problem anyways. So this bone here should manipulate the rotation of this. Because it's disconnected offset, it's probably feasible. Oh yes, it's very feasible. Really, we can already, yeah, we can already try something like copy transforms, the fake parenting one, additive. And so if we, yeah, let's say the control skeleton, let's reduce this. So here you see we move, it's not moving for some reason. We didn't fix the parenting. Yeah, we need has incorrect parenting. So the mechanism we parent actually to the, there's no tweaker here for the spine, so we parent it to the, I believe this is the correct thing. I have to double check here. So the original skeleton, what do we have? This is parented to control chest. Yeah, exactly to the same mechanism per arm. Okay, this is different, tweak shoulder, but this is mechanism chest. Yeah, because there is a mechanism chest, but then as we reach the spine, it starts to be, so this is neck. No, mechanism chest. I'm a bit confused here. It looks like, wait, I'm looking at both armatures. How is it possible? Oh, because I know why. It's because I need at least one layer here. Yeah, this, I need this layer at least. I forgot that. So gonna select both. Okay, so just the mechanism here. So this is parent to tweak hip. Okay, I know this tweak hip also. Why? I don't remember this. Okay, see, I didn't do for the spine. Then we have mechanism shoulder, master Suji. No, this this seems to be incorrect. Probably there's some mistake here. But anyways, this is the rig that I'm gonna unmake anyway, so it doesn't matter. The only reason why this would be relevant is for bond constraints, but it's not like it could inherit some wrong stuff from parenting. That's why we would like to have a parenting that is neutral. But right now, oh, hold on. This is confusing. Two armatures because of this spinning here. Very dangerous here. Okay, so let's go back. Tweak shoulder. Control shoulder. Yeah, so this is the very... this is mechanism hips. Okay, hip sway. Parented hip sway. Control hip. Tweak hip. Yeah, the tweakers and the tweak knee. Okay, so whenever there's no tweaker, then they go to the control skeleton, the same that they occupy their space. So exactly as I was remembering, but it's good to be sure because there are a lot of ways to achieve the goods. It's not a single way. Okay, so here we got this and this. So let's continue here. So now we have this. So we're gonna parent to the... just because we have this, but this already tweak shoulder, this already tweak elbow, this to control spine, this to... actually, no, hold on. This to control chest, this to control spine. This lost the parenting. Okay. This to command connector, right? Then commander, whatever. Then this to control hips, yeah, here, but offset. Then we have this one, which we connect to keep offset. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it there. So this is... all right, so this parents here, keep offset. This one will parent here, keep offset, and all right. Now we have... so how that will function? Okay, since... yeah, let's just parent it to... yeah, that doesn't make too much sense anyways. We just so it will follow. So now we're gonna... we need to check how that spine will work. So this one, yes, it works like that, but it's not rotating this. So in order to do this, we'll need to make the mechanism bone to also respond to yeah, this one. So we're gonna just do a... yeah, mechanism it's doing, right? So, but it's not responding. This would cause some critical problems. All right, so it cannot respond, but if I had, okay, this, then yeah, it start to go crazy, right? So this might be more complicated. I did this some time ago, but it was a different, in a different layer. Yeah, it was in a different layer of. Yeah, perhaps in this particular case, this one needs to be parented to this, or perhaps to, yeah, parented to the same. So what happens is that um, it doesn't add, but then we can, yeah, I cannot reset it, but then I can control it through. Yeah, so this bone maybe will become irrelevant. You see that, yeah, we could, but this is not doing what it should do, right? And if it does this, this will disrupt the. Okay, maybe we could do the different, the opposite way. Nah, I'm stuck here in this little thing. I thought this would be simpler. The thing is that we have two control skeleton controllers, and so yeah, this will distort the spine there, right? So this wouldn't work. Oh, I remember this something like that before. Yeah. So it's sort of that we are lacking some sort of reaction, right, from the spine if we start to rotate the hip, the lower spine. So because this is also the hip, so we need to rotate this from the. Okay, so maybe that's the way to go. We need to invert this, and so now it is. I could, like, for example, parent it to this. Of course, now this will displace the spine. Yeah, this, but then we can. Wait, this is not how the hips way work, right? It's different. It's more like this, right? But without moving this. So this is the tricky part. So I need to. Here, this bone is here, right? And I need this bone to be pivoting from there. Yeah, this is why this bone in the end was as a control. I thought, because I thought I could pivot but this is bad pivot, right? You'll need to pivot from there, so the controller cannot be here. Okay, let's not delete. So instead, yeah, just copy the name. So this is how I've done previously, but the problem is that now the connector bone cannot be. I need to do a special thing in order to. Let's hide the mechanism skeletons for a moment. All right, so this moves the the coccyx, but doesn't really move the hips. This could be a problem, but if we want to move the hips, we have the master, right? So we have. All right, then we include this, and then this extra bone should enable, yeah, because it is the parent of this stuff, even connected part. Oh, need to relocate it. All right. Nope. Need to connected. All right. Good. So this is with the pinning of the feet. Then we have hip sway. So this is an offset. Currently, its parenting is wrong. Right? Because it is parent to it, but it can't. It will so this is pointing up, this is pointing down. There is one strategy, crazy one. Okay, so this could be very dangerous, but essentially what you have here is that we have the possibility of I have the hip sway here, and I have this. If the whole spine is included, so there's a dangerous thing here that could happen, that will need to expand faster here. But moving this bone, right, is just like just grabbing this one, so it's like, so this is just a way to connect these, even though they don't have the or read the same starting position. So what you could do is perhaps find the middle, place this at the middle, then yeah, that seems good. All right, so and so if we accidentally displace, it's not. Yeah, this is not perfect, but maybe in some sense it's better than. Oops, this should be careful. So I can create some locker bones here to make sure that we not lock protector bones to prevent the some change here. But the idea is to be able to change this spine here, and also, okay, if we expand, then we move all the blocks. So this is important. And we can have hip sway here on demand and keep doing the, yeah, so this could create some weird stuff, but usually this kind of multi-controllers for the same part is, so now the problem in this approach, probably there's something better, but I can't figure it out right now. So we're gonna just parent here. Okay, but we need to, what is this parent to? Tweak hip, no, this stretch 2 and control hip, fine. Hold on. All right, and so here it should be simple. It's just we need to find the copy transforms. Oh yeah, it's following the, now it doesn't need this parent, so now we just change the parent to actually this bone here. Good, so now we have the spine, so it follows the spine there through bone constraint, the custom space one. The only problem is that, yeah, so this, the deformed bone is here. Yeah, so yeah, okay, it's not the end of, if I try to move it away. Interesting. Okay, maybe we need I need to implement my other rig here. We're gonna an experimental rig that can allow the multi-selection of the upper and lower to allow different behavior. So I'm not sure how well this would, it will have probably some utility here. What is this behavior? Okay, there's some crazy behavior because of the, Yeah, because I'm moving wrong bones here. So yeah. So this is why I need to. This can be very difficult, right? And this allows the hips. Another way would be to have a hip sway as a complete different controller, like a deform rig. But that the bad thing about that is that you see that this allows to control the real legs. If I had something just for the deform bones, I will be treating the hips like an under this part of the legs, like an undervalued, under lower hierarchy thing, and I don't want. I want to split the hierarchies. What I'm trying to do in the same level, and it sort of works with some caveats. So this is the idea with this control rig. So this is why if I split the rig with real commander bones here, I could perhaps develop the proper behavior. It's a bit confusing right now. Let's see if I can maybe change because usually the problem arises from extra selection here, right? This, so that means that perhaps I need to make this one much closer, this joint here, to the can I slide it over? I doubt. Okay, then just let's do some quick things here. Flip this. And of course need to reparent, and then wait, what's going on here? This is here. Oh yeah, it loses its wait, haven't I solved this already? Okay, I don't know. Anyways. Okay, so I just need to parent this Oh, it is flipped, of course. Parent here. And then parent this one to the there. Now I can rename some, so this connector bot, they're crossed, right? So this is even more top, and this is the okay. So this will just make it so that just in case I extrapolate the damage, I say no more critical damage to the poles. However, it's still, what about from the bottom? I haven't tried too much. Extrapolation, that is start to get this. Okay, this is not so disruptive if you accidentally get it. Okay, so I can't skip that, unfortunately. So yeah, so that's a little improvement. Now we need to continue building the stuff. What we're really missing here is the master stuff, right? The hands, eye key stuff. Yeah, this will be like the okay. Then the deformed skeleton is missing parenting, so we need to I think the deform is just here. Yeah, because it needs to follow the mechanism. It will follow its stretch to bond constraint, so it's the bond constraints are even in another layer of hierarchy, so it's not a problem. However, for the bendy bone here, yeah, it will. This bone will be looking up in opposition, but the parenting will make that it still follow. You'll have to double check here. Yeah, this is working. And then we have here. Yeah, so fine. Then we need to, yeah, keep making these connections. This hip sway, we're not even using it. Yeah, we're not employing this one. I don't know what are those joints right now. Oh yeah, some bones here are in the wrong. These joints here. Okay, so for the parenting of the deformed bone, so this is mechanism hip left. Okay, this one is mechanism thigh left, yeah, thigh, and then here is mechanism shin. Yeah, I think this is was already fixed. As for here, mechanism shoulder, mechanism upper arm, mechanism forearm. Yeah, all seems neck, head, chest, spine, hips. Yeah, that is all this need to be. Now we need to address the master Aiki stuff. Yeah, so once we complete this these ones here, they will need some extra controllers to make the whole setup, some mechanism and aim stuff. It's a bit tedious, but it will, for the hand it's easier. Yeah, much easier. Yeah, then there's also the pole targets. Yeah, so it's a bit more complicated, but I intend to complete this today. Yeah, so then the legs, there's a mechanism. It's way quite more complicated, the advanced foot rig, but we can do this today. So I'm gonna, so if we achieve this, then the only remaining things will be, yeah, some helper rig, which is tedious, but I don't have too many here. We can solve it. Yeah, bendy bones for the limbs. They are not bendy bones yet. The mechanism don't need to be bendy bones. And yeah, here the spine also bendy bones. Then of course there will be the facial rig, which I'm sort of restructuring. Yeah, then the head stuff. So it's not we're not too. There are plenty of stuff, but we're gonna keep doing. I think I can complete this in not today, of course, but tomorrow, maybe after tomorrow. We'll keep doing this, and but I think for today I need to pause. Yeah, I've been doing this for too long already. So thanks for watching, folks. See you another time. Take care, happy Blender. Have a nice week. I'll see what I come back with, but I need this to yeah, as an exercise and sharing some workflow here, very specific stuff, and then some tricks, and then I intend to start recommends the 2D webcomics. So I need 3D webcomics, but on the manga style, at black and white, grayscale, all that. But for this, I need to do a lot of changes here because the materials and a lot of stuff here on the main character is very important. And then the scenery making also is something that I'm planning to stream. This I could start anytime soon, but I'd like to have just a little more fix in the rig so that we can avoid a lot of issues in this new Blender 4.5.2 LTS. That's it, folks. Yeah, so the add-ons, they have these problems, right? Extend, especially, yeah. Well, this is an extension, right? And it have these problems when you have changing Blender problems. They tend to augment the Blender incompatibilities version to version, right? Even if it's an extension. But doing these crossing projects between updates, it's dangerous anyways. Even without any zero add-ons, it's still. But here I'm facing a problem because I'm so inclined to. I'm so used to this. So, but another way is helping me in getting clean up the rig, right? Clear some stuff. So yeah, folks. Thanks for watching.